public hearing. Who pays and how much? The details still not clear. Many transit advocates are defending the fare increases as prudent, necessary for a better, more reliable transit system.
We're all part of the solution, so we all have to contribute to it.
But others aren't so sure.
Ridership has been low, and so they need to make their money back based on the pandemic, but I don't think that now is a good time.
The fare increase is set to go into effect on August 20th. Tolls could go up within 3 weeks. Live tonight, MTA headquarters in Lower Manhattan. NJ Burkett, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, NJ, thank you very much. We're going to turn our attention now to the weather and some good news. The heaviest rain has moved out, and tomorrow looks better. Right. Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg at the weather wall with the forecast.
All right, finally, string together some nice weather in July. It'll take us until the weekend, but we'll put a few nice days together. Still a couple of isolated storms into the evening, but the sun has really come back. And finally, we just have a nice July day. I mean, basically about half of the days in July have had measurable rainfall. And we're finally going to get a few days where we're drier and the humidity drops off. We don't talk about tropical downpours. We had some, especially south of I-78 during the middle of the day. That was around earlier in the day, too. Many of our northern suburbs have been dry, and you're seeing the sunshine break out. But there are a couple of showers west of Philly now that could be over parts of Monmouth and Ocean in the early evening hours. Then there could also be a stray shower with a front off to our north during the late evening. But most areas now will remain dry. We're at 78, some hazy sunshine. Air quality on the moderate side. It'll stay there tomorrow, but be a little less hazy. Upper 70s and lower 80s, so definitely a late day spike here in the temps. We're up to 85 in Sparta, probably top 80 in Central Park here over the next hour or so. And it's just a nice summer evening. Calm with nothing more than a stray shower, especially off to the south. 60s most suburbs tonight, even comfortable upper 50s well to the north. Can't call it refreshing tomorrow, but it's just sort of run-of-the-mill summer humidity, not oppressive. We should be in the mid-80s. The beaches look good, too, in the low and mid-80s. Water temperatures well up in the 70s now. Rip current risk will be moderate. So storm-free for most tomorrow, but there is an AccuWeather alert on Friday. We do have to pay a little price to get that winner of a weekend. There'll be rounds of storms at all time for you with that AccuWeather alert on Friday. More on the AccuWeather forecast in just a little bit. Bill and Sandra, back to you for now.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Lee. Thank you. Backlash tonight from the NYPD police union. This after a New York cop was indicted for assault while removing a man from a store. Officer Salvatore Provenzano is suspended without pay as of tonight. He's accused of punching a man while attempting to remove him from the Apple store. This is on the Upper West Side back in October of 2021. Now, according to police, the man in question was harassing customers. The officer's lawyer says Provenzano believed the man was about to throw a punch. The incident was caught on body cam surveillance that has not yet been released. The police union says indictments like this restrict how they conduct what they call effective police work.
As he puts his hand on his elbow to have him leave, he immediately flings his arm back, tenses his body, and this officer reasonably thought he was going to be struck, and he hits him one time and he goes down with no injury.
Meanwhile, the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg says in a statement, in part, we're quoting now, "We work in close partnership with the NYPD. Those sworn to uphold the law must be held accountable," end quote.
A former FDNY firefighter will spend the next 5 to 15 years behind bars for a deadly wrong-way crash on Long Island. Joseph Norris had 3 times the legal limit of alcohol in his system when he crashed head-on into a car on the Sunken Meadow Parkway back in November of 2020. That crash killed Anthony Mariano, a beloved teacher at Cardozo High School in Queens.
You basically surely killed Anthony Mariano as if you took your car became a gun and you blew it up. You blew that bomb.
Nothing's going to bring him back, right? So I just hope that it's not, obviously I would have liked the max 8 to 25, but this is fine.
Norris had been driving the wrong way for nearly 4 miles before crashing into Mariano's car. The investigation into accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann has led to yet another state. Police in Atlantic City, New Jersey, now looking into whether he may be connected to any cases related to sex workers there. That's in addition to police in South Carolina and Las Vegas investigating any possible ties to Heuermann. Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager is live in Massapequa Park. Stacey?
Well, Sandra, investigators are now retracing more than a decade of this man's interactions. We know that Rex Heuermann met some of his alleged victims as far back as 2010. So the question now, where will the evidence lead next? In a case that continues to stun those who live here in Massapequa Park, one neighbor who lives right next door to the alleged Gilgo killer, reflecting on nearly 7 days now of just about everything investigators could remove, from large backyard furniture to computers to Playboy magazines and much, much more. What's been the most significant thing you've seen them pulling out of this house?
Guns, one after another.
As the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office reveals now that the indictment against Rex Heuermann is unsealed, they're questioning sex workers currently in the county jail system for any other potential connections to the alleged serial killer. We do know others have had close calls. Former escort Nikki Brass, who says Heuermann solicited her approximately 8 years ago.
I had a really, really bad feeling. Like my gut was like telling me I needed to get away from him.
Especially when he actually mentioned the Gilgo case, she says.
When he talked about it, he would like speak in a they and hypothetical, but he had this like smile on his face that made me really uneasy.
She ended the date early. Meanwhile, the investigation now broadened to include Heuermann's property, both in South Carolina and Las Vegas, Nevada, and 2 of his Chevy Avalanches with potential forensic evidence.
Anything from hair to a trophy, souvenir, jewelry, anything that can help us connect these victims to that vehicle will be instrumental in strengthening the case.
As these neighbors can't help but recall memories of Heuermann from the past that seem all the more disturbing now, like when he'd gaze over this fence or when he brought home a giant metal door, which he told his neighbor he needed to seal off a vault in his basement.
But he told me back then, this is to protect my guns. Who gets a door like that, a monstrous door like that to protect guns? So
you're wondering what might have been, what else might have been behind?
God only knows.
Yeah, and there's plenty we still don't know, but today Eyewitness News learned from the Suffolk County Sheriff that at least 2 sex workers currently in the Suffolk County jail system right now had prior contact with Rex Heuermann through various social media platforms, and they have audio recordings of him. Heuermann currently in a special unit in a solo cell in the county jail in Riverhead on suicide watch. We're live in Massapequa Park. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Stacey, thank you very much. We will keep you updated on the investigation right here on Eyewitness News. And you can also see the timeline of the murders and clues that led to Rex Heuermann's arrest at ABC7NY.
New York City making a change that affects asylum seekers. Adults will now only be allowed to stay in city-run shelters for 60 days. The city will begin sending notices to them to find alternate housing. According to officials, each migrant will be given notice with several appointments with caseworkers over their 2 months to discuss their options. Families with kids will be exempt from this new rule.
This is the only way we can make critical needed space for families and children. We don't want to reach the point, and we won't reach the point, where families and children are living on our streets like you're seeing in other municipalities.
Migrants who do not find alternate housing by the time their 60 days are complete will be required to reapply for a new placement at the arrival center.
Now to lottery fever. It's hard to avoid and fairly infectious. 2 giant jackpots up for grabs. Someone could become an instant billionaire. Sort of.
Sort of. The jackpots for both Powerball and Mega Millions are rolling towards record highs. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $1 billion. That's the 3rd largest in Powerball history.
And Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $720 million. All of this lottery talk has us streaming, but what are the odds? Well, you have a 1 in 292 million chance of winning the Powerball.
Now, we're trying to put the odds in some sort of perspective. For instance, you have a better chance of becoming a saint. Well, some people do anyway.
I'm a saint.
Yes, finding a pearl in an oyster and being injured by a toilet. Nobody wants that.
Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth live in Chelsea. Michelle, you have that winning ticket, right?
Of course course I do. Of course I do. Don't be ridiculous. And I love the little subtle Bill Ritter. I might not be a saint. I'm not sure, but I caught that. I love it. And I love talking to people about getting rich and thinking about being rich. People were very kind and immediately altruistic in most cases, talking about all the good they would do for humanity. But I skip all of that. We go straight to the huge, stupid money dreams. Lottery tickets are selling like crazy.
I'm getting ready to go play right now.
And how much is it?
Right now, it is $1 billion.
This was Harlem at 124th and Madison. This was a Powerball spot in Mott Haven in the Bronx, and this was another closer to Midtown at 10th and 50th. Most people say they just let the machine choose random numbers.
Random. Quick pick. Yesterday, I actually chose my own numbers.
$1 and a dream. Well, actually, it's $2, but who's counting? What do people dream of buying? There is a lot of stuff out there. Found an island for, I think, $160 million. It looked pretty good. Dang.
People just be buying islands.
This is in Thailand. $160 million. You would still have to spend a whole lot more.
A mansion, and then I'll be like a philanthropist.
I will leave New York. I want to travel. I want to go to Greece. A tour to Europe. That's what I want to do. I want to take a cruise to Europe.
Some exciting traveling, you know, fancy vacation.
Or how about a yacht? This yacht is, you could buy this yacht. It's fancy. Here's a yacht with a helipad and a pool for a cool $400 million. So many people said they wouldn't get too detailed and then said something like this.
I really want a white Range Rover with the beige interior.
I love that. Me too, by the way.
But $1 billion, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I'll retire a lot of people.
Try not to pay attention to the garbage can full of broken dreams as you set your sights on all that is possible. I pray that you go to Greece.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
It's so funny. You know, a lot of people were telling me they're like getting really specific about the sound system, the rims, the tires, the everything on their cars. So good luck, everybody. I hope you do well. 1 in 292 million. That's not too bad, right? We're live in Chelsea tonight. Michelle Charles with Channel 7. Good luck.
Yeah, I think that's Bill's salary.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm not a saint, remember that.
Yeah.
By the way, just by coincidence, you'll watch the live Powerball drawing right before Eyewitness News at 11 tonight.
Okay. You would share it with me, right?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 5. Bricks thrown through a cafe window in New Jersey. Next door, a threatening phone call. We're going to talk to the business owners about why they think they have become a target of bias crimes.
Plus, could cannabis be on the menu at your next concert in New York?
And a brutal beating. We talked to the grieving family of a supermarket worker killed, pummeled with a wooden plank.
Tomorrow at 5, a devastating flood took his daughter.
As soon as she hit the road, she was gone.
Now he could lose his home, too. A grieving father's fight to keep his daughter's memory alive by keeping his home.
Can 7 on your side help him rebuild?
Tomorrow at 5 on Eyewitness News.
Postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer are living longer with Kisqali. So long live family time. Long live dreams. And long live you. Kisqali is a pill proven to help women live longer when taken with an aromatase inhibitor. And Kisqali helps preserve quality of life, so you're not just living, you're living well. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Long live hugs and kisses. Ask about Kisqali and long live life.
Summers were made for driving a Ram, where you can go off-road, tow more toys, bring the fun, and relax in comfort. Get more in before the sun goes down. Make this the summer you drive a Ram.
Now during the Ram Make This the Summer event, get 10% below MSRP on all 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn models. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today.
A beautiful day. We're getting the sunshine back, the warm-up we've been waiting for.
Picture perfect out there right now.
We'll see a lot of sunshine. You'll want to get outside.
Rain or shine, every day, anytime. Count on the Channel 7 Eyewitness News AccuWeather team. Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg, Sam Champion, Jeff Smith, Brittany Bell, and Danny Beckstrom.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Shakura? ABC 7 thanks you for helping to protect our children.
A horrible attack in Harlem. A supermarket worker killed while sweeping up outside.
63-year-old Bernardo Perez had been working only at the market on 138th Street in Harlem for just 2 weeks before his life was ended by a man who beat him with a wooden plank. His co-workers tried to help, but it was too late.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in Fordham. Darla?
Sandra, Bill, I just spoke exclusively with the sister of Bernardo Gonzalez Perez. He immigrated here to the U.S. 43 years ago from the Dominican Republic and built a life here in the Bronx. His sister told me he came out of retirement to take that job as a janitor at the supermarket because he was accustomed to an active lifestyle and wanted to work. Bernardo Gonzalez Perez was one of 13 siblings, 5 of whom live here in the U.S., and they are not doing well at all. Muy cariñoso. His sister says he was gentle, affectionate, cheerful, happy, happy, happy. He was a good man, the best of our family. This is surveillance video outside of the Food Universe on West 138th and Broadway in Hamilton Heights. And that's the 63-year-old laying motionless in the middle of the sidewalk. It happened 2 weeks ago. He was assaulted out of nowhere.
There was a lot of people here. It was like a lot of people looking, calling 911. I also called too, because I saw him in the floor and he was trying to like a little bit get up, but he couldn't because he was weak.
Sadly, the 63-year-old was never able to get up on his own, ever able to recover from being banged in the head repeatedly with a piece of lumber. He was taken to Mount Sinai Morningside, but never regained consciousness, dying 4 days later.
They wasn't arguing. In the video, you don't see them not even talking.
We tried to wash her face with water for the blood, and he tried to stand up.
Also seen in surveillance video, a man placing what appears to be a wooden board into a trash bin along with other boards. 48-year-old Carlos Ramirez was arrested that day and faces charges in connection with Gonzalez Perez's death. He had only been working at the supermarket for 2 weeks. Last year, he retired after working 30 years in housing, but decided to go back to work because he was bored at home. His sister says jail for a long time. I want him to go to jail, jail, jail. Now, Ramirez was arrested that day for assault. Additional charges are pending in this case. As for the family, they say they are planning for the funeral tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. at the Ortiz Funeral Home, and they say everyone is welcome. Reporting live in the Fordham section of the Bronx, Darla Miles, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
It's all just so tragic. Darla, thank you for that.
Yeah, hard to imagine why somebody would do that.
Indeed.
All right, Lee, everybody wants to hear from you today. You're bearing good news.
He's smiling.
Yeah, well, listen, number one, we have a nice day tomorrow. And listen, we're going to have to work for it on Friday because we'll get some rain.
Yeah.
But then we have a really nice weekend. So, yeah, super excited.
Congratulations.
These glasses are a mess, man. I can't see anything because outside we go. Sidetrack. Outside we go where it looks hazy outside, so do my glasses. We have the meadow right now, which is plenty of good real estate out there. I don't see anybody playing on Heckscher ball fields, which have certainly gotten soaked over the past several days. 78 degrees, a west-southwest wind at about 7, and feels like 80 out there. The humidity isn't through the roof, and tomorrow it's at moderate levels, and I'll really get to forecast some comfortable air over the weekend. Air quality index is at a 90. High temperature today so far 78, although Central Park not reporting this hour. I'm sure we'll top 80. Tomorrow the air quality index will be in the low 90s. That's, in the top end of the moderate level. But when we look at the near surface smoke with some of the haze today, you definitely see how it continues to thin out during the day tomorrow. So it should look less hazy, a little bit more blue in the sky as well. And this is actually the better forecast model for the haze aloft, and you can see how it really gets diminished during the day tomorrow. So it's nice to see a little bit more blue in the sky. Average high 85, I think we're pretty close to that tomorrow. You know, no rainfall measured in Central Park today, but we definitely had a lion's share of the rainfall to the south of I-78, about a half an inch to an inch. Places like Cape May down to the Delmarva got slammed with about 3 inches of rain, and of course our northern suburbs haven't seen much. But you might still see a stray shower well to the north tonight. I'll show you that in the Futurecast. So tomorrow, sunshine, less haze, lower humidity, not refreshing, but moderate humidity, and just a stray storm around tomorrow. On Friday, an AccuWeather alert, I think there'll be a few rounds of some thunderstorms that could get heavy. But then over the weekend, sunshine's coming back, lower humidity, dry start to finish. The only issue may be some haze getting in here again by Sunday. You know that's the trade-off. If we're not getting soaked, we see the smoke coming in from the north and west. So the heavy rain's cleared out for now, but there are still a couple of showers bubbling up over Pennsylvania. And with a front on top of us, I can see how there's still one or two more. To the north of this front, it actually is really comfortable upstate. We don't get the full shot of that comfortable air, but we get a little taste of it during the day tomorrow. And then the disturbance, which has produced a tornado over northern Minnesota, that's the system approaching on Friday. I'm not looking for tornadic activity, but I still think we could have a round of heavy downpours. So we've been AccuWeather alert that day. So a couple spot showers, a better chance south early evening. Late evening along the front, there might be a stray shower to the north, and then we're quiet the rest of the night. Clouds and sunshine tomorrow. In fact, more sun than clouds and just an isolated storm in the afternoon. But showers try to come in by Friday morning, and I think there'll be a few rounds of heavy downpours that could slow you down on Friday with the potential for some flooding. After that alert Friday, it's finally a nice weekend. Our only concern, smoke may return by the time we get to Sunday. Spot thunder shower early. Most of us are dry. Partly cloudy and a nice summer evening for a change. And just a nice July day tomorrow. Sun and clouds, not too humid. A spot storm north and west. Tomorrow night, increase in clouds. Your evening is fine. But then late at night and a Friday morning, the rounds of storms begin. Only 81. There's your AccuWeather alert. And there's your nice weekend. Middle 80s, lower humidity, lots of sunshine, just a little haze on Sunday. We'll see you again at 5:30.
This is to clean your glasses.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to use tissue, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
I'll go back and get a linen.
That's all I got on me, buddy.
Well, you could pull that pocket square out.
A for effort.
Thank you, Lou. Speaking of the weather, the recent storms have really left behind a muddy mess for some homeowners. So what do you do when you wind up with 5 feet of water in your basement?
Plus, we have new information in the mysterious disappearance of Carly Russell, the woman in Alabama who went missing after calling 911. We're going to tell you what cops found on her phone.
And a truly special delivery. You're going to meet the police officers who helped deliver a baby outside the Lincoln Tunnel.
This Eyewitness News AccuWeather forecast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
We all want more of a good thing.
More.
And Miss Moore was no different.
More.
As her name suggested, she loved more.
More. More.
So when Miss Moore was injured, she called Morgan & Morgan. With more lawyers, more offices, and more than $15 billion recovered, she didn't have to ask for more anymore. When you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The all-electric Genesis GV60. Enter. Start. Take off. Have fun. Recharge. Repeat. Get a $7,500 EV lease bonus on the Genesis GV60, exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
Summertime in New York. It's easy. Easy to find big thrills. Easy to chill. Easy to do it all together. Easy to make memories that last forever. It's easy to love New York, and it's easy to plan your summer getaway at iloveny.com.
Coast to coast, people count on Spectrum to keep them connected to what matters most. We were born to build, with a network more than 800,000 miles long, connecting communities large and small, bringing internet, TV, and mobile service across the country. With over 100,000 employees, our commitment runs deep. It's local too, because this is home. We live and work in the communities we serve. We send our kids to the same schools, cheer for the same teams, shop at the same stores. We support small businesses, many of whom we're proud to call customers. And we proudly support those that support us all. Like you, we work hard every day to deliver the best services, since we count on them too. Our work is never done, and that's okay, because we have commitments to keep. We're Spectrum, connecting the places we all call home.
Here's a look at your sunrise and sunset times for tomorrow, sponsored by Spectrum One. Spectrum One has internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile for just $49.99 a month. One connection, total connectivity. Visit spectrum.com today.
Marijuana continues to be everywhere. Exhibit A, you'll soon be able to buy cannabis products at some concerts, fairs, and festivals across New York State. Regulators today voting to temporarily allow licensed cannabis retailers to set up pop-up shops at events where the customer base is predominantly over the age of 21. Customers will not be allowed to smoke at these events. Today's decision comes as the state tries to offset revenue losses due to the state's slow rollout of cannabis legislation and legalization.
Two big losses in court today for former President Trump. First, a federal judge denied his request for a new trial in the E. Jean Carroll defamation lawsuit. The judge criticized the former president for failing to attend the trial, ignoring evidence, and not testifying in person. The judge also called Mr. Trump's efforts to reduce the $5 million awarded to Carroll unpersuasive. Trump says he intends to appeal that decision. And meanwhile, a different federal judge today rejected Mr. Trump's request to have his hush money payments case brought by the Manhattan DA moved to federal court. The judge said the former president failed to show that the charges are related to any official act as president.
Broken windows and threats against businesses in New Jersey.
Next on Eyewitness News, why only certain businesses in West Orange are being targeted and what police are doing about it.
Plus, a warning about a TikTok challenge that has some people kicking down doors.
And it is the Battle of the Buskers, how you can vote for the musical act that's making the most noise on the New York City subway.
Buskers.
Only one event has summer's hottest collaboration. Cody Johnson and Reba McEntire, Luke Combs and Vince Gill, and Miranda Lambert with Avril Lavigne.
50 years of CMA Fest!
Tonight on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or current Chevy owners get $7,250 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your local Chevy dealer.
Little Red Kitchen Bake Shop is a small batch bakery in Brooklyn, New York. We bake the cookies you love growing up. So I applied for the DoorDash Accelerator for Local Goods program. It was a great experience. One of the great things about the Accelerator program was that they sought out women-owned businesses. We now sell our cookies through Dashmart. It feels great to see us listing in there. It's a sense of pride for sure. It brings it to a wider audience within our local community. I'm Susan Palmer of Little Red Kitchen in Brooklyn, New York, and I make the best cookies.
All of the unique things to do in the Pocono Mountains cannot be shown in 15 seconds. You'll just have to book your stay with us to find out.
When we found Vanlightenment, we found courage. The courage to travel long distances as a family again.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. Gas lights on. It was that bad.
With a total range of 520 miles, you'll find peace of mind in America's only plug-in hybrid minivan.
Now, well-qualified current owners or lessees of competitive vehicles can lease the 2023 Pacifica Hybrid for $499 a month. Hurry to your local Chrysler dealer today.
Hey, New York, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of CMA Fest.
And we have your front row seat to all the fun.
Catch the music event of summer, CMA Fest, right here on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Eyewitness News at 5. Definitely saved the best for last today. Things have improved. It's just nice to report that we'll have just one of the better days of the month tomorrow with sunshine, moderate humidity levels, and nothing more than a stray shower. Got the sunshine back out right now. We're up to 79, and the feels like reading not all that much different, giving you an idea that we're just not in oppressive humidity levels right now. With that said, there are a couple of showers over eastern Pennsylvania. A few may roll into southern New Jersey during the evening hours, and maybe one late evening well to the north. But most areas are now dry headed into the night, and it'll be a nice summer night. Light winds and temperatures dropping through the 70s. Tomorrow, sun, some patchy clouds, moderate humidity, just an isolated storm. Most stay dry, and we're in the middle 80s. Just a nice typical July day. Not typical this July, though. Well, you can see it's sticking out like a sore thumb. There's your AccuWeather alert with the high rain chances on Friday for waves of thunderstorms, but also look at the weekend. Very low rain chances. I think we're dry start to finish. Your 7-day AccuWeather forecast in just a few minutes. Bill and Sandra?
All right, we'll see you then, Lee. Thank you. A broken window at one business and threats made to the owner at another business have now sparked an investigation in Essex County.
Police believe both locations were targeted because of LGBTQ and racial bias, and now they want the public to help find the person or persons responsible.
Here's New Jersey reporter Tony Gates.
Something like this kind of has no place in not only this neighborhood, but just anywhere.
Someone leaving thousands of dollars in damage at Harper's Cafe.
I came into a brick sitting here, and the glass broke in and paint kind of splattered around.
Dixon believes it's because he posted pride flags in support of the LGBTQ community outside the cafe, named after his 6-year-old daughter.
What you choose to do with your life, how you choose to live it, is nobody's business. You shouldn't let even an act like this deter you.
During the same 24-hour period, the owner of the photography studio right next door received her own hate phone call, someone upset that her hair is in braids.
That person just told me that why if I wasn't black, I was wearing braids. After that, it just went to, oh, because you didn't care about our, Black history stuff, we're going to do something to your business.
Both being aggressively investigated as hate crimes by the prosecutor's office.
We are most interested in getting the person off the street if we can and making the type of example that this should not be repeated.
In the Harper's Cafe damage, investigators may have some leads from video, but this is the inspiring aftermath. Hundreds of people in West Orange coming out on a rainy Sunday morning, scraping paint from the windows, painting a new message of inclusion, raising money to cover the salaries of cafe workers for the days it had to remain closed.
I'm for sure angry, but then also the aftermath of it is the community coming together.
There's a tip line for reporting bias crimes. It's 1-800-277-BIAS. Again, 1-800-277-BIAS. You can call with any information on either of these incidents. In West Orange, New Jersey, Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
A fight outside a bodega in Brooklyn leads to a deadly stabbing. Police say 36-year-old Severiano Reyes was with his family outside that store last night in Williamsburg when they got into an argument with someone taking pictures nearby. That escalated, and police say that's when the person taking those photos stabbed Reyes in the neck. 2 relatives rushed to him and tried to help. They were also slashed. Both are expected to recover. The attacker fled the scene, and still no arrest in this case.
Yet another viral social media challenge landing the participants in hot water with police. In fact, authorities say people are kicking in house doors and then running away. Newcastle County cops in Delaware releasing surveillance photos of 2 suspects they're looking for. They say it happened on 3 occasions in just one community. Videos to the challenge have been posted on TikTok. Police say participating in the challenge is dangerous and will result in criminal charges.
Connecticut State Police allegedly issued thousands of fake traffic tickets. A recent audit discovered troopers falsified nearly 26,000 traffic tickets, and more than 32,000 others were inaccurate. The investigation determined troopers did this for their own personal benefit. The troopers who appear productive are often eligible for federally funded overtime. Lawmakers have scheduled a hearing on the issue for next week.
If people were not investigating this thoroughly, if they knew that they were purposeful mistakes, not mistakes, purposely misrepresenting what was going on, those people should go.
Some troopers could face criminal charges because forgery is a felony, but there is a statute of limitations of 5 years.
The governor of Texas, who has made a big practice out of busing migrants from the Mexico border to New York City and Los Angeles, tonight's under scrutiny for how his state troopers are treating immigrants. One trooper, in fact, playing the role of whistleblower, claiming children literally have been pushed back into the Rio Grande River and that orders were given to not have drinking water to migrants during the sweltering heat waves in Texas. With the story, here's ABC's Melissa Adan.
Allegations of inhumane treatment of migrants, including small children along the U.S.-Mexico border, now under investigation. In an email sent by a Texas state trooper to his superior obtained by ABC News, he says it was the policy to deny migrants water and were even told to push children, including ones that were nursing, back into the Rio Grande River. The trooper adding when he and others contacted command expressing concerns about the migrants being exhausted, even drowning, they were again given the order to tell them to go to Mexico. The Inspector General for the Texas Department of Public Safety is launching a probe. DPS says the troopers are the ones who perform rescues while trying to stop migrants from placing themselves in harm's way. The trooper also provided pictures he says are of the migrants suffering injuries from newly installed razor wire, even describing a pregnant woman who got stuck in the wire and suffered a miscarriage.
When you're looking at the wire, when you're looking at these floating devices, to be frank with you, that is a death trap.
The Mexican government raising concerns, saying they requested the U.S. government remove the barrels and razor wire from the riverbed. The State Department blaming Texas, saying the barriers were deployed without consulting the federal government. Texas Governor Greg Abbott's office saying Texas is deploying every tool and strategy to deter and repel illegal crossings between ports of entry. The Texas National Guard tells ABC they work alongside Texas law enforcement, but they have no order or directive instructing service members to push migrants back into the river or deny them drinking water. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Biden administration will once again try to crack down on so-called junk fees for renters. The White House is partnering with Zillow, Apartments.com, and AffordableHousing.com to make it clearer to users what the all-in cost would be from the start. Those sites are allowing visitors to calculate fees, and some will require owners to disclose charges up front. Officials are also releasing new guidelines to evaluate mergers between companies to try and ensure competition and protect consumers.
Still ahead on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, we have new details about a missing woman case gaining national attention.
Where did Carly Russell go for 2 days, and what police are learning from her internet search history?
Plus, making beautiful music in the middle of brain surgery. That's right, the important reason doctors needed this woman to stay awake while they operated.
Dear Sharp Curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
Thinking about selling your home in today's more challenging market? Well, you don't have to let it sit for weeks or months trying to sell it the traditional way. At 72 Sold, you can get a price thousands more than if you sold the traditional way and get it done A to Z in just 8 days. Thinking about selling? Just put in your address and get your price, a higher price for your home in just 8 days, only at 72sold.com.
Optimum customers love their fast, reliable service. Get 300 meg fiber internet for as low as $35 a month. Alex says the service is superb. Optimum Fiber has next-level speeds, now up to 8 gig, faster than Verizon and Frontier. Get 300 meg fiber internet for $35 a month with Optimum Mobile as low as $15 a month. Plus, go even faster and get $200 back. Hurry, call 8884-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
This summer is the perfect time to join the Jeep SUV community, where you can overcome more obstacles, bring the sun along for every ride, and electrify every adventure by going even further. Make this the summer you go anywhere and do anything. Make this the summer of Jeep.
During the summer of Jeep, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2023 Jeep Wrangler Willys 4xE for $359 a month. Visit Jeep.com for details.
Had enough? No, arthritis. Here, Aspercream arthritis.
Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods.
Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream.
When you come to Catholic Health Cancer Institute, we'll get to know you. Every detail, from the genetic makeup of your cancer to your other health conditions to your emotional and physical needs. Because each detail gives us another opportunity to personalize your care and improve your outcome. And all of them can add up to a life-changing difference. At Catholic Health, we know you, we know cancer, and we know your cancer.
Dear first place, how do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome to the show.
Next live, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, plus Oscar de la Hoya. And it's Aches and Pains Week.
Watch live tomorrow morning at 9
on ABC 7.
Police this afternoon now casting doubt on the story of an Alabama woman who returned home after she went missing for 2 days after calling 911 to report a toddler walking down a highway. Carly Russell telling investigators she was kidnapped by a man and a woman when she stopped to check on the toddler. Police said a short while ago they have no reason to believe there's a threat to public safety here. They say before she disappeared, Russell's search history included taking money from a register without being caught. Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? And a one-way bus ticket. They want to question Russell again, but her family has not allowed it.
A New Jersey woman making beautiful music, literally, as she underwent surgery. Christina Vide of Kingsburg says a doctor at the Jersey Shore Medical Center removed a brain tumor. That's what doctors say. The surgeon needed her to be awake and talking so he could tell in real time how the procedure was affecting her brain. That tumor has been causing seizures that Christina has been experiencing for more than a decade. Doctors say her prognosis is good, and they're hopeful that the next steps in her treatment will destroy the remainder of that tumor.
Fascinating story, and we hope so too. Netflix is scrapping its least expensive ads-free plan for new members in the United States and the UK. The move by the streaming giant meant to push customers to its ad-supported package, Standard with Ads. That's what it's called. Standard with Ads launched in November and costs $7 a month. It comes with an average of 4 minutes of unskippable ads per hour. Netflix says existing basic members can keep their plans.
State of emergency declared in Mount Pleasant.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, we're live as families are left with flooded basements and clogged streets and thousands of dollars in damage. Plus,
Music Under New York program allows us the opportunity to play eye to eye with the people of New York City.
Who's the best busker in New York City? A new award up for grabs.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Or current qualified lessees can get this Traverse for around $349 a month. Or get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Traverse models when you purchase.
I'm Orlando, and I'm living with HIV. I don't have to worry about daily HIV pills because I switched to every other month Cabenuva.
For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete long-acting HIV treatment you can get every other month. It's 2 injections from a healthcare provider.
Now when I have people over, HIV pills aren't on my mind.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or if you're taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
It feels good to just live in the moment. With every other month Cabenuva, I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about Cabenuva today.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $249 a month or get 0% APR or $1,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
I got an amazing price from National Floors Direct. Way less expensive than every other quote.
At National Floors Direct, we offer next-day installation of beautiful luxury carpet and flooring, and we'll beat anyone's price by 15% or it's free. Call 888-400-FLOOR.
America, come along with our adventure seekers and discover summer with Ford. Join friends Maisa and Leslie on an epic adventure with the capability of the Ford Bronco Sport. Head out with the Stevens family and stay connected with built-in Wi-Fi in the Ford Explorer.
Did you know that horses sleep standing up?
Road trip with the Sanchez family and available hands-free highway driving in the Ford F-150. And now get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on select Ford vehicles. This is your time to discover summer at your local Ford dealer.
This Eyewitness News' AccuWeather forecast is sponsored by your local Ford stores. Navigate the road ahead in a well-equipped Ford SUV. View current offers at buyfordnow.com.
I would say some of my favorite moments performing the subway is when you get a crowd of strangers who are on their way to work or a show, really busy people. When you can make them stop and listen to your music, that means that you're doing something right.
That is an artist. A new competition celebrates the melodic sounds of the New York subway. The first ever Writer's Choice Award lets commuters vote for their favorite subway performer. 128 music acts entered the contest. Now only 3 finalists remain. The winner gets a recording session with Atlantic Records. And by the way, you can vote at the WeLoveNYC.com link before July 26th. This is just so cool.
Yeah, I think it is.
Only
Really
in
is.
New York.
Yeah, and it distracts you from all the stickiness in the subway. You know, just
when it's hot in the subway, it is hot in the subway.
No doubt about it. All right, so we look outside right now and get some haze. Our air quality's at 90 with that air quality index, and it's at a moderate level, and I think it'll be a similar level tomorrow. But I don't think you'll see as thick a haze tomorrow. A little bit more blue as the smoke continues to thin out. We're at 79 degrees right now, so making a late run at 80. Again, the air quality is moderate tomorrow. UV index at an 8, and the pollen count on the moderate side. Looking at a really nice day tomorrow with moderate humidity. We've already started the process here with drying out with showers offshore. A lot of areas just partly to mostly sunny, a little hazy right now. Watching a few showers west of Philly. They're really having a tough time making progress. There's definitely a boundary right here. I can see some cumulus clouds popping up along the Jersey Shore and also along a front to the north. So those are the 2 areas that could pop up with a stray shower during the evening hours, and our high-res futurecast is suggesting that. And in fact, even late in the evening, could there be a stray shower? Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess just north of I-84 before fizzling out and a couple of leftover clouds tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we'll get the sunshine out, moderate humidity, really nice feel. It's good to see that wind direction, albeit fairly light, out of the north-northeast, bringing in some of that drier air. It is a good boating and beach day, and maybe not the best sailing day, but water temperatures are in the 70s. The rip current risk is definitely moderate, so make sure the lifeguards are at the area beaches. If tomorrow's your getaway day, there might be some delays in hubs like Raleigh, maybe through St. Louis and parts of the Rockies. You can see the extreme heat continuing in the southern tier. So Phoenix continues to break records. They're at 113 tomorrow, 20 straight days of 110 plus. So we'll add to that, 21 tomorrow. Miami's had 38 straight days of heat indices that are over 100. There's also some Saharan dust that's going into parts of the southeast that could compromise air quality there. So getting smoke from the north and Saharan dust from the east. But you know what? The Saharan dust also squelches tropical systems, so not such a bad thing, and it's not so thick down there in terms of the dust. So here's our futurecast. We start out with a lot of sunshine tomorrow, a few patchy clouds, nothing more than a stray storm during the afternoon hours. We're in the 80s right down to the beaches, maybe upper 70s on the east end, but a nice day with moderate humidity levels. But the humidity starts to spike tomorrow night into Friday morning, and that's when we could have some rounds of showers and a few drenching downpours. And I think we'll have a few of those rounds, especially through early afternoon and then leaving the scene as we go into the evening hours. So when we talk about this 7-day, you're looking at an AccuWeather alert on Friday for the rounds of storms, but then drying out for the weekend. Lower humidity, lots of sunshine, maybe just some haze by Sunday. We'll continue the nice stretch into Monday before the humidity comes back and late day storms on Tuesday and into Wednesday as well. Again, hazy sunshine out there right now. So we got up to 2 or 3 inches of rain across the Hudson Valley yesterday, and hard hit Hawthorne in Westchester County. That's where Eyewitness News reporter anchor Joe Torres is. And Joe, I mean, this is my basement. I took some water in it. This is happening all across the area, and folks have to be nervous that this is what we have to get used to, especially with the storm coming up on Friday.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Lee. It's not just nervous. People here express frustration. Frustration particularly from longtime homeowners in this particular neighborhood here in Hawthorne. We're talking about people who've lived in this community for 40-plus years and quickly told us during that time they never had any flooding problems. Yes, there was Hurricane Ida 2 summers ago, but yesterday, a rainstorm that led to the kind of flooding damage that was similar to Ida. While they try to ponder now what it is that's changed in the last 4 decades, the cleanup marches on. Wendy Tedesco and her daughter sat in their driveway and watched. It'll take a few days for a team of workers to clear out and clean up their flooded basement and garage. That helpless feeling today matched the helpless feeling yesterday when the rain and storm water poured in.
We stood in the doorway and under the little overhang that we have there, and we watched everything get destroyed around us.
The sudden deluge on Tuesday ravaged much of Hawthorne, a hamlet in the Westchester County town of Mount Pleasant. Powerful streams of rainwater ran down dog paths, bike trails, and newly paved roads. The homes, basements, and garages that stood in the way never had a chance. We found a sweaty and exhausted Mike Ferrugia helping the cleanup crew as they dismantled the waterlogged sheetrock from the lower level of his home. The water line in the garage clearly shows the depth of the flood.
It's just the fact that it's just so quickly, I couldn't save anything. When I was trying down there to save my laptop, the entertainment unit came crashing down. If my kids were there playing the Nintendo Switch, they would have been crushed by it.
The town supervisor quickly recognized the gravity of yesterday's monsoon. He issued a state of emergency at 3 p.m. after police and rescue crews pulled stranded drivers to safety. He told us the phone calls, emails, and personal visits from frustrated homeowners have been nonstop.
You don't know what to say to them. You know, I don't have all those answers. You know, they ask, what are you going to do? I said, there's nothing I can really personally do.
Now, the town super did say that one reason, additional reason for the state of emergency, he said, is designed to get the attention of FEMA. He hopes that federal investigators will come in, assess the damage, and hopefully expedite any sort of financial relief that might be available to these homeowners. Live in Hawthorne, I'm Joe Torres, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Joe, you have to feel for those folks. Thank you very much. An Australian sailor was rescued at sea after he was stranded for months in the Pacific Ocean. Timothy Shattuck and his dog Bella stepped back onto land yesterday for the first time in 3 months. And they'd been adrift after his boat got caught in a storm, which knocked out electronics and his ability to cook. A helicopter from a fishing boat spotted Shattuck 1,200 miles from land.
The health was pretty bad for a while. I was pretty hungry, and I didn't think I'd make it through the storm.
Shattuck and Bella had to survive by eating raw fish. Now, he actually found the dog in Mexico, which is where he was sailing from, but could not find a home for her, so he just brought her with him. Well, now a member of the crew that saved them is adopting her.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, it is.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, protect, serve, and occasionally deliver babies. 2 Port Authority cops reunited with a newborn they helped welcome into the world last Monday.
And coming up at 6, he's taking over as the head of the largest police department in the country. Tonight, we're talking to new NYPD Commissioner Eddie Caban about his goals as the top cop and the challenges he'll face.
The Powerball jackpot is $1 billion. Don't miss this chance. Watch the drawing tonight, live on Channel 7, right before Eyewitness News at 11.
This is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. With a surprisingly fuel-efficient VC turbo engine, you can go from 0 to fun in no time and leave basic far behind.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer, you have many choices for a law firm. You see so many ads on TV and the internet. But did you know that not every firm is equally qualified to handle your case? Ask those lawyers. Do you hold the record for the highest New York asbestos verdicts? How many years have you been practicing asbestos litigation? How many mesothelioma victims have you represented? What is your success in achieving verdicts and settlements over the past 30 years? How many asbestos bankruptcy trust committees do you serve on? When you speak to Whites and Luxembourg at 800-LAW-6789, you'll get unmatched answers. Choosing the right law firm could be the biggest financial decision of your life. Make it wisely. Call 800-LAW-6789 or visit misowin.com.
Distinctive in design, meticulous in craftsmanship, confident in execution. Genesis, a new beginning of what luxury can be. Lease the Genesis GV80 for $599 per month, exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
Did you ever look at your house and think it just might be time for a change? Well, right now at National Floors Direct, we'll help you change for just $1,088. We'll give you 3 full rooms of carpeting, next day installation, padding, everything, all for just $1,088. 3 rooms, no hidden extras. Now that's the kind of change everyone can afford, and no interest for 1 year. Call National Floors Direct, 888-400-FLOOR. Get 3 rooms of carpeting for just $1,088. We'll bring the store to your door.
This is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. With a surprisingly fuel-efficient VC turbo engine, you can go from 0 to fun in no time and leave basic far behind.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Tonight on ABC 7, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Then, the CMA Music Festival, followed by New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 11. Plus, Eyewitness News is special on George Santos, now streaming on ABC 7 New York.
A couple of Port Authority officers raced to the aid of a car that had pulled over outside the Lincoln Tunnel. But it wasn't for a faulty engine or a blown tire. No, there was a mother in the car giving birth. Not only did the officers help deliver a healthy little baby, but today they went to the hospital to check on that family. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson has the story.
The pride and joy of Nestor and Maria is a little boy who was bringing so much joy. Little Killian is resting comfortably, but his entry into the world was a little hairy because he wouldn't wait for his due date and decided to make an appearance just outside the Lincoln Tunnel.
And like 3-4 cars before to pay the tolls, and I stopped because I saw her start bleeding.
So Dad, who was driving, knew he could not wait any longer and flagged down Port Authority cops who rushed in to help.
I said, please, please, please help me, because my wife is, I think is going to have a baby because he's bleeding, and I see the baby's there.
The officers knew exactly what to do and delivered a healthy 6-pound, 9-ounce baby boy.
He was looking at a doctor, he put the hand, the gloves, and he have the control and trying to help her and say push.
The newborn's mom is still overwhelmed by the fast action of the Port Authority cops who came to the rescue.
Que son como unos héroes para nosotros.
She said the 2 persons is hero for her, heroes.
This morning, the officers who responded paid the family a visit at the Hoboken University Medical Center. It was a joyous reunion.
Coffee, good morning, who's here? Good morning.
Mom, Dad, and newborn have quite a story to tell, but they are praising the Port Authority cops who made Killian's birthday a very special delivery.
It was incredible, and I said, he was an angel, and wow.
Killian's parents say anytime they have a party for that little boy, there will be 2 special guests, the Port Authority police officers who are now part of their family. In Weehawken, Anthony Johnson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
2 godfathers in blue. There is still more news ahead. Eyewitness News at 6 begins right now.
This is New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, with Bill Ritter and Liz Cho. Ryan Field with sports, and Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
Crime in New York City plunging once again. It's great news after a rise after the pandemic. But New Yorkers' fear for their safety also remains high. Tonight, the new NYPD Commissioner, Ed Caban, talks to us about crime and how to get it even lower. But first, we're going to talk about prices for one of the most basic necessities in the biggest city in the country, because they're about to go up. In a couple of minutes, get ready to pay for more transportation and pay more money for it. Good evening, everyone, at 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter. Liz has the night off. Those stories in just a moment. But first, the weather and another hot and steamy day. But on the bright side, literally, the rain and clouds have moved along, at least for now. Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg with what's ahead for us. Lee.
All right, Bill, so we've had about 5 inches of rain so far in July. We haven't been able to put together consecutive dry days in a while, and we've had rain almost about half the days. Well, now, 4 out of the next 5